You guys want to see my baby arms? Alright, so this week we're going to go over something I think everybody needs. It's logos. Everybody doesn't need them, but they go well on a YouTube video and intro, and we're going to go over that this week. I made mine this week, and I'll show you it right now. Alright, so this week we're going over logos. So logos are what you put before the main like action of your video and whatnot, and you have an intro and you're going to do your sponsor or whatever you want to do in the beginning, and then you're going to cut to your intro. It's going to have your logo, just a quick roughly 1 to 7 seconds, I would say, or not 1 to 7 seconds, probably like 3 or 4 to about 7 seconds long. You don't want it too long because then you lose audience and it cuts out on the action of your own film or whatever. Before we get into this, I forgot to say it again. I'm Lingjing, Stream Companion. Check me out on Twitch. I stream every Monday through Thursday from noon to 5:30 p.m. Oh. Right there. Should be right there. I forget the directions. So the first thing you want to start out with is Illustrator or some other type of drawer. You can go on 3D Paint for all that I care. I already have the logo drawn up, and this is it so far. It's just a basic overlay, just real nice, simple. You can change this up a lot. You can change it to however you want. What I did was I actually came up with 9 ideas within an hour, and I drew them by hand. And just a basic, just draw them out by hand. Grab a pencil, draw them out. Take an hour out of your day. The most creative part of drawing is within the first hour. After that, you overthink everything and you just put too much detail into one thing and just draw out a quick sketches, and you'll find the right one. That's what I did, and I found it, and what we're gonna do, literally all I did was I just got a pen tool. I grabbed it, I marked, drew shapes out however I wanted them. I came back to it and say I took the eyedropper, I want this color, and I put it in there. Literally, that's all I did. So you can just do something similar, or you can draw it out by hand if you're good at drawing on the mouse and keyboard. Whatever, just draw it out with your mouse and keyboard, however you'd like. You could use all these tools to your advantage. Adobe has an amazing array. Or you can take a picture of something that you really like and use that as a logo. Take it into Photoshop, cut out the background, and you can make it a transparent background, and you can load it in. Easy. Done. So when you go down to File, you're going to want to save this. Once you're done with all of your beautiful drawing, you're going to want to go down and Save As. So in order to get it into Adobe After Effects, well, not in order to get it into Adobe After Effects, what you want to save it as, though, is Illustrator ESP. ESP is going to make it into a vector picture, or vector scale, I think it is. And I'll put it in the thing whenever I figure it out. But you're going to want to save it as ESP. And what that'll do is it'll make it a little bit easier to work with, and you can make your animations and use the pen tool and whatnot, and I'll show you in a couple minutes. But just save ESP and then done. Save as, click. I already have mine saved, so I don't need to worry about that. So we're going to exit out of this and go to Adobe After Effects. Oh, hey, we're in Adobe After Effects. That was quick. It's like magic. Editing. So now that you're in After Effects, we're going to start with something. We're going to start with New Composition, And what you want to do here is, this is going to be your composition name. I'm just going to name mine My Logo. Easy as that. Next, we're going to go to custom, and what you're going to do is you're going to make sure it's in 1920 by 1080, and that'll make the ratio look a little better. And yeah, and you're going to have square pixels and 60 frames. I think it originally starts at 30 frames or something like that, but make sure it's at 60 frames. And then just pretty much copy the same, full, 0, duration, whatever you want. You can change in the thing later on. And then background color black, and you can change that and so on. So now that you have your composition set up, your new composition, you're going to want to go to File. You're going to want to come to Import, File again, and it'll bring you to your cloud storage on where you save the EPS, whatever. So you want to click on that logo that you made in Adobe Illustrator, and it's going to be saved under EPS, and you just click on it, import. Easy as that. And then it's going to be in this top left corner. You're going to bring this down, drop it, and I'm going to center it in the middle. Oh, it's not locking for some reason. Oh well. All right, so you can see how this image is, as it gets larger and smaller and whatnot and whatever, you see that the larger it gets, the more pixels it gets on it. So you'll have this little real grainy, awful looking logo like some company, or not company, some low budget type of things use, and you're like, oh, how do I get rid of that? Well, you can see my little cursor, and what you want to come down to is this little transparency tool. It's for vector layers and whatnot, and this will, you just click in the middle and it'll make it way less blurry, and it'll just fix your problem there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on your logo down in the little Q down here. So you're just going to click on it, you're going to go to the top, hit layer, and we're going to turn this into a vector, I forgot the name, vector shapes from vector layers, or create shapes from vector layers. And what this is going to do is it's going to isolate every single layer of your logo. So it's going to take every aspect, it's going to take the L, separate it into one category. It's going to take the G, separate it in one category, and so on. To isolate the groups. So I just took out the G, took out one of the outlines, took out the J. So now that we have the J isolated, we're just going to name this, rename it to something, the L, sorry, that's the L. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. So we're just going to make sure it's clicked. We're going to hit enter. We're going to make sure it's clicked and hit Control D, and that'll make another layer. It's the same exact thing, and all you got to do is come down here, go to contents, and then make sure the J is selected, and then you can hide this one. You can hide this one, and then it'll just show the J. And this just makes it a little bit easier that you can isolate the groups and not show the other. Now we're going to create a new layer, and this is where the animation is going to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit new, and we're going to go down to shape layer, click shape layer. You have a new shape layer, and then we go over to our pen tool, just as so. You can change the type of stroke and whatnot and pixel size. So if I go from here to here, it'll show you an area of where the pixels are. So it's 112, and I can make it larger or smaller depending on what I need. I just have it at 120 because it was easiest to do. So we can change this, undo, and what we're going to do is we're just going to make an outline of this G. And just like that, we have an outline, and as you can tell, this is where I was talking about the pixel width. So you can tell on the side a little bit right here that the G is going to be sticking out. Now if you do not cover that, in the effect it'll take out that part of the G. So we're just going to increase the pixel height a little bit, and boom, now you have a solid depth and get every aspect of the G. So we're going to go through and do this to every single one of the letters. Alright, so now what you want to do, since we did this to the G, So say this was the L instead. So all we'd have to do is take this shape layer and move it over top of, let's say it was the J. And we'll move it over top of the J. And what we'll need to do is go onto the track mark and then hit alpha mat the G. So what that'll do is that'll make it to where it's bound to that G, and you'll be able to do certain markers to where. All right, so now that it's bound to that G shape layer from doing the alpha mat shape layer 1, and we can rename this to make it just G outline. Oop. And then we can come into the contents of it. We can add a bunch of different tool or changes or whatnot. The one I used in particular to make that swoop down and swoop back was the trim paths. So now that we have the trim paths activated, we can come down here, click, and whatever side that you want to come down first, you just play around with it. Boom. Just see how that does it? It just takes away that inside lining. We're going to be at 0 seconds. We're going to key in that item, and we're just going to move it to about 2 seconds, and we're going to change it back. And in order to change the speed of this, you just would click on this graph editor, and then you come down here, and when it's highlighted yellow, you can hit control click, and it'll click on the thing and it'll make it yellow. And what you do is you just pull this in and drag it up or down, however which way you want it to go, and you'll just mess around with it, have fun. So this is what I went with. I like this one the best out of them. I had a couple that I fooled around with and did a bunch of stuff with, but this is the one I ended up landing on. And all of these effects and different things are all just things that I put together. I was just having fun with the effects, and that's really what you want to do. Is you don't want to just copy someone else's. You don't want to just look up how to do it in one way. Just figure out certain things about the app. Have fun with it. Don't just, oh, I gotta get this done right away. Pick and choose. Go into your effects. Add animations. Create animations. Get creative. Don't just settle with one thing. I made like 6 or 7 logos, and I was just like, all right, this is the one I want. But you just got to go through and add little key terms or little key filters. So you just come in, add a layer, new, solid shape layer, okay. And then once you have that solid shape layer, come into effects. You can distort them. You can generate objects like, oh, I want to generate a flare. Whoa! Make that little camera hue, and you can change all these little things and just honestly have fun with it. That's the only way you'll learn. But that's it. Just have fun with it, guys. Click, drag, drop. Figure out what you like. Figure out what you don't like. Add this animation. Oh, that looks cool. Cut it out. Oh, this looks better. Oh, I'm going to add lightning striking at the end. That's all you guys got to do. And just have fun with it. That's pretty much it, guys. As you know, I'm your stream companion, Ling Jing. I stream every Monday through Thursday from about noon to 5:30. Come check me out. It's pretty fun in there. Gets lit. Play some Call of Duty. Play some Among Us. I just like to get down. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Oh, I got him.
Oh, I missed it.
Alright lads, let's get it done.
Sounds good.
How do I get up there?
Teammates in
I'm dead, dude. I'm dead.
the five, they can
Dip,
redeploy.
dab, dip, dip.